Your text ends with two chapters on organizations that support military families. I'm only having you read about the civilian organizations and those that focus on veterans. But if you have any desire to work for soldiers, their families, or veterans, you may want to look at both chapters. They're a great resource of employment. Just Google search jobs at so and so organization, and something will likely pop up for you. Chapter 11 is more for active duty service members and the services they receive from the government. If you are a veteran, I'm sure that some of these organizations may sound familiar to you. These chapters are also helpful if you just want to help veterans. So let's roll. Transition assistance is provided both by the services themselves, but there are also nonprofits and other organizations that help soldiers once they leave the services. The Transition Assistance Office, TAP, was reviewed in Chapter 6. The key is to remind everyone that the services don't just let their members leave without any support. They provide trainings, workshops, and one-on-one assistance to service members leaving the military. The TAP office was combined with another program, Yellow Ribbon Reintegration Program, to create the DoD Military Civilian Transition Office. It now also helps Reserve and National Guard members and families before, during, and after they are called to active duty. The Sesame Workshop is a unique program designed to help military families deal with issues related to deployment, homecoming, managing service members with disabilities, and grieving the death of service members. There are many more programs than what has been reviewed in this chapter. If this is an area of interest to you, it may be worth exploring some of the other examples provided in the chapter and the websites they provide. We do not review the DoD military health system that all active duty soldiers have access to. They and their families also have access to TRICARE, another health system in the active duty world. Once service members leave, they can gain access to VA health and other resources, but it is a different system. It is reviewed in another class available at OU today. Anyone interested in learning about that system or working in this system should contact me and I will direct you. The Veterans Health Administration, VHA, mentioned earlier this semester, is the component of the United States Department of Veterans Affairs. It is a nationalized healthcare service in the United States, providing healthcare to veterans through the administration and operation of 146 VA medical centers, with integrated outpatient clinics, 772 community-based outpatient clinics, and 134 VA community living centers, VA nursing home programs. It employs over 350,000 employees. All VA hospitals, clinics, and medical centers are owned and operated by the Department of Veterans Affairs, as opposed to private companies, and all of the staff employed in VA hospitals are federal employees. A unique center called the National Intrepid Center of Excellence, or NICO, is a Department of Defense organization working to advance the clinical care, diagnosis, research, and education of military service members with traumatic brain injuries, TBI, and psychological health conditions. Obviously, this is relevant given the unique nature of casualties coming out of the Gulf Wars. Your text also mentions the National Resource Directory. This is more about connecting people to resources than anything else. We discussed the issues of veterans' homelessness in another lecture. It may be higher among veterans, if you recall, but on the whole, you should know most veterans are doing fine in this area. Some examples of organizations that support veterans in the area of housing include Homes for Our Troops, which provide homes for veterans with serious disabilities as a result of their service. They also raise money, building materials, and provide professional labor through donations. The Fisher House Foundation has built housing for families of service members and veterans as a place for them to stay while the service member or veteran is in the hospital. Notably, they're available for veterans seeking help from the NICO Center. Again, I want to stress that these are two examples, but there are still many other ways that veterans are supported through the country today in the area of housing. Finally, I will focus a bit on additional training resources available to veterans, their families, and anyone interested in supporting veterans. The Military Family Research Institute developed the STAR Behavioral Health Providers, a system for training civilian behavioral health specialists in military culture and challenges associated with military service and clinical skills. The Center for Development Psychology provides online training in military cultural competence, combat stress, and clinical skills, among other things. I also want to mention that OU has a graduate certificate in Veterans Health. They are also in the process of developing an undergraduate certificate in Veterans Advocacy. Both of these programs are available completely online and open to any major. I reviewed materials in this chapter in a way that does not follow the chapter outline. You'll need to move around a bit, and I included some things from other chapters as well. The key is to show some of the ways that the U.S. government supports veterans when they leave service, as well as how they work with non-governmental agencies to achieve these goals. Finally, let me say that I hope that you can see that there are many governmental and private agencies designed to support veterans. This is great knowledge if you need assistance as a veteran. It is also a great thing to consider if you'd like a career in assisting veterans, or you just need help finding assistance for a veteran in your own life. There is much to be done, but there is also much out there. Can't find something that meets your need? Many new organizations have been created to fill needs as they arise. Don't be afraid to look into creating your own fund or organization to help out.